Welcome to the Gaming Outsider Podcast. This week we welcome indie developer Joel Heath to the show. He's the dev behind Ashbourne Interactive, and he's making a JRPG called A Demon Hunter's Guide to Passive Finance. In news, Ubisoft has nothing but bad news this week, which includes canceling the Prince of Persia remake. As for new games, we got a lot of great games to talk about. Zach played a game with an interesting comic book aesthetic called I Hate This Place. He also tried the early access version to an ultra-violent first-person shooter called Big Face. I played a game on Steam called Dwarves, Glory, Death, and Loot, which is incredibly addicting. And then also Mark and David stopped by to tell us about their experiences with Ebola Village, Ghost Keeper, and Escape from Ever After. This is the Gaming Outsider. Greetings, programs, and welcome to the Gaming Outsider, a video game podcast with a focus on our incredible community, which can be found at thegamingoutsider.com. We've also got a community over at facebook.com/groups/the GoCast, and even a Discord server. You can find a link for that in the show notes of this very episode. My name is Scott Clark. I'm your host, and joining me today are my good friends. First off, Mr. Zach Parkerson. Zach, how are you?
Happy High Guard Day to all those who celebrate.
Happy High Guard. It released today. I did not play it yet, so I was kind of looking forward to doing that, but that's not going to happen. So
It'll be next week.
Next week, we got so many games to talk about this week. So we'll come back to High Guard next week. But Jake is also here. Jacob Gunderson, how are you?
I'm doing good. How are you?
I'm doing all right. You sound like you got some energy in you. That's awesome.
Hi, Scott. I'm here. How are you?
No, I'm not complaining. I'm in a weirdly good mood today. I just had one of those very productive days at work and came home and got a bunch of stuff done. I'm just I played a lot of video games this week. Zach, I've been telling you about some of the stuff I've been doing. I've been playing some games for me.
Good for you.
Played a new game that I really enjoyed. I just had a good week of games, and I'm looking forward to it. Jake, we got to get together and play some more Mario Galaxy 2 because,
if you say fun. So.
Did you not enjoy it?
Oh no, I was just not having the energy. You seemed so upset about my energy earlier.
I was not upset about your energy.
Meeting your energy requests, sir.
Right.
Well, let's. I got some cool games to talk about, but I want to hear what you guys have been catching up on. Jake, let's start with you. What you been playing?
Oh my goodness, I'm in the wrong spot. So I have this. You know me, I like weird games.
Yes, you do.
Games.
Yes.
But I bought this little game called Forest Hustle, and it is about a person who gets some kind of debt from a guy who owns a forest, and he goes, well, you have to pay me back, so go chop some trees. Let's make some money, and drops you in the middle of the forest with an axe, and you just start hacking away.
Do you search a forum for weird games, or is there like a Reddit thread?
Steam knows what I like.
So the stuff just pops up and like,
oh yeah. My little discovery, I've got like 8,000 games looked at on there. So Steam knows how to, it's dialed in. It knows what to get me with. So you drop in, you chop down a couple of trees, you get a drone that helps you move logs to your camp to sell them, and then you can start hiring people to help you cut down more trees. There are 16,000 trees on the map to cut down, and I have beaten the game 4 times.
Oh my God. So over 65,000 trees you've chopped down.
To be fair, there are prestige bonuses every time you beat the game to make the workers faster. So it just the last run I think took me an hour. Yeah. It ends up being pretty fast.
Okay.
But I did need to. I needed the touch. There was a huge update on Stationeers, which I love the game for its complexity. But when you open the game, it says, "Hey, the old saves don't mesh with the new update, so all of your old saves are gone."
Oh no!
That's so brutal when that happens.
So I was like, "Cool, we'll just start over and see what the new stuff is."
Good thing, I like this game.
Yeah, you're a stronger
Good thing
man
I like
than
this
me.
game.
When No Rest for the Wicked wiped the saves for the first time, I was like, I'll just wait for release then.
Yeah.
Just can't.
That's one of the things you gamble doing early access, right?
That's true. Absolutely.
I don't think this game is going to have a super 1.0 release type of thing, so it's just never ending. So
perpetually
just jump back into
access.
it. Yeah. But I wanted to challenge myself, so I'm doing it harder this time, and I'm finding that it's harder. So if a hard game couldn't get harder, it got harder. So
All right. Well, as for me, I finished Super Mario Galaxy this week, the Switch version that I'm playing on my Switch 2. This
Without me?
No, not Super Mario Galaxy 2. Super Mario Galaxy 1. That was the one I was playing by myself. I actually not only did I beat it, but I got all 120 stars playing as Mario. And if you're familiar with the game, you know that the way that they reward you for for doing that is to say, you know what, we're going to let you go ahead and play the entire game again as Luigi instead to really, get 100% in this game. So really, I've only played through half of the game. I'm at like just under 50%.
They don't change the levels though, right?
No, the levels are exactly the same.
You beat the game. That's just a new game plus option.
I know, but here's the thing. I know with 100% fact that I 100%ed Super Mario Galaxy 2. I did that run twice. I got everything. It was tough. I remember specifically sitting upstairs in my house where I am right now. We had just moved in. We were laying laminate, and I kept taking breaks to go do a couple stars in Super Mario Galaxy 2. And I 100% of that game. I don't know if I ever 100% of the original. So, like, if I don't 100% 2 and just play through that with Jake, that's fine. There's like this nagging thing in my head that says you never 100% of Galaxy 1. So I feel like I have to.
Is this why you don't play games for you? You just find excuses to double up your time in them?
Pretty much. But I needed to take a break, though. I was kind of galaxied out a little bit just because that's all I've played for the past week or so outside of some little stuff here and there. But I got to give a shout out to Aaron from our community. He says he's got to know, did Scott make his games I've played so far spreadsheet for this year? To answer your question, Aaron, yes, I did. Hey. I have made my spreadsheet. I've actually made tabs for each year now, and I've got 2 columns: games from this year and games from backlog for this year. So I am keeping track of the games I'm playing this year.
Are there other data sets? Are you doing like genre and completion time, or?
No, I'm not going that into depth, man.
Okay.
You guys are lucky that I got this one.
I was going to say, it turned into a little game himself.
I just know he loves spreadsheets, so I didn't know how deep he was going to go.
Dude, now you're giving me ideas. Now I'm thinking about it.
That's an action RPG. That's a CRTV.
Because then I'll get into the whole, like, which category does this fall under? I'll make drop-down boxes. I'll color code stuff. I don't want to do that. I just want to.
That's a show on my left. That's on my left. That's on my right. That's just around.
Maybe we should do that idea, like the app that does this for people. Like the Letterboxd or Storygraph or Goodreads.
It has to exist, right? It has to.
I don't think. I feel like the closest is Fuse, but that's not really doing the same kind of stats breakdowns.
Yeah, Fuse kind of feels more like a social media than just.
Yeah.
It's feeling more like a social media, but
perhaps it exists. I know there's a website backlog, but it's not an app, so it's not convenient. So I'm not going to do it.
Right. But it would be nice just to be like, pull up a game and say, yep, I played that one this year. And that's what Fuse does, like you said, but I want to be able to get all the data like you're talking about.
I want the insane data. I want the pie chart at the end of the year.
Yeah, exactly. But that's a lot of data.
With Steam?
Yeah, but some of us play games on other places besides Steam.
My bad. Don't be lame.
Zach, what about you? What have you been catching up on?
More Rogue Trader. I assume this will continue to be happening because, I'm like 55 hours in. It's exceptional. It is one of the best CRPGs for sure. And if you like CRPGs, you should play it.
Better than Baldur's Gate 3?
I like it more than Baldur's Gate 3, but I also haven't played the real Baldur's Gate 3.
That's true. You're just playing it like with us, so you're not seeing all the stories.
Right. So that's kind of a big missing part, I think, of a genre defined by storytelling.
I'm genuinely looking forward to you getting to play Baldur's Gate 3 without us, just so you can experience that game. I need to do the same thing, honestly, but at least I got some story, because when I played through multiplayer, we had 3 of us. It was me, Kevin, and Paul.
All right, so you at least got Karlak's story?
Karlak, or sometimes Shadowheart, depending on what was going on. We would swap out because Kevin would be like, you need to see this story beat. And
until you murdered her.
Until I murdered her, yes. Yeah. Anyway, I didn't mean to interrupt you.
I find the main story to be so exceptional that we've seen.
No, it's kind of like remember how like The Witcher 3, the main story was whatever, but the side stories were what made it. Or actually, any Bethesda game.
Yeah, especially Bethesda for sure.
The side stories are where it's at. Yeah. So
But yeah, Rogue Trader is great. Wonderful. I love that the companions don't get along. They're always beefing with each other, but they have no choice but to like listen up because you're in charge of everybody.
That's cool.
So it's kind of a fun dynamic you don't usually see in these games, because usually it's about like, putting a found family together. These people are really like, you're lucky we work for the same guy, or else I would shoot you in the head for your heresy against the Emperor, which is pretty fun. Yeah, but I got an achievement for visiting half the optional locations, and it just about broke my heart. I was like, oh no, I'm already halfway through this game. Oh no!
I mean, I don't know if you know this, but there's a whole lot more CRPGs available for you.
I know, but none of them are in this Warhammer 40K universe.
Yeah.
Except I guess Dark Heresy that's coming out someday. But speaking of CRPGs, you're playing Baldur's Gate 3 as well.
Didn't make much progress this week. I feel like we did a lot of wandering around.
We only had a couple hours to do some scheduling, so we were just kind of exploring more of that. Oh, what's the name of that town? We got our lower pass access to Baldur's Gate.
River something. There.
Yeah, so we just kind of explored the hell out of that town, and then one of your students popped into our Discord chat and distracted us for like 40 minutes.
I had no idea. I forgot that like anybody could just drop into our Discord and join us while we're playing. So yeah, one of my former students, Aiden, who's in our Discord, popped in and talked to us and told us some pretty disturbing stories about his school.
Disturbing stories about West Virginia high schools.
Yeah, that was kind of crazy. But shout out to him. It was cool talking to him. I haven't seen him since he was 9 years old in my classroom, and now
keep it in the family.
He's 17.
He's 17. So
everyone's relative in West Virginia. Yeah. I mean, all we really did was meet up with the Harpers, and they weren't really the Harpers. That was about it.
We tried to solve some of the murder mystery, but didn't really make a whole lot of progress.
I guess we did with the elephant detective. Was like, go talk to somebody else about this. I don't care.
Yeah, just doesn't care. Did we determine that was a he or a she?
It says she. She just has a masculine voice.
Okay.
Like I think her name is Valeria or Valerie.
It's a she.
And other characters say she and talk to the inspectors over. You'll find her over there. She just sounds like a British male detective for some reason.
You guys ever seen Deuce Bigelow? I am Tina.
Wow, what a film! What a film!
Oh man, you could not make that movie nowadays.
That is a big lady.
Yeah. I don't know. Rob Schneider doesn't make a lot of movies anymore.
They made a sequel to that movie. There was a second one of those.
Oh, right. European Gigolo.
Oh my goodness.
Yes. Never saw that one.
Okay, before we get off track, that's the games we've been catching up on. Let's go ahead and jump into the week's news. I kind of liked this week. Some big things happened, but not a whole lot of things happened. The first real big one is Ubisoft undergoing a company reset. Boy, that's a nice way of saying that. And then also we had the Xbox Developer Direct this week. Jake, that's all we've got. Which story would you like to talk about?
Ubisoft.
Ubisoft or Ubisoft?
Ubisoft.
I mean,
I'll be hard.
Oh my God.
Ubiquitous software.
Right. So 6 games were canceled, 3 of which were new IPs. The Prince of Persia, The Sands of Time remake was also canceled. 7 games were delayed for
quality purposes.
They wanted higher quality. Higher quality. Halifax and Stockholm studios were closed. They want to refocus the company's more high-quality open-world titles and make a push into games as a service, which is going to be terrible because a lot of their stuff. Oh my goodness! We won't comment on the amount. They won't comment on the amount of layoffs that will be coming. But shares dropped 39% after the announcements. So worse and worse news for Ubisoft.
Correct. I don't know what to do with this because this is very frustrating, especially what you mentioned about high quality open world titles, games as a service. These are the things that, and I know it's not all about me, it's what everybody is into, what they like. I am not into games as a service, and I am getting super tired of open world title games. I didn't even play Far Cry 6, if you remember
Oh yeah.
And I'm a massive. I mean, I played it, but I didn't play it to completion.
Or you didn't play a lot of Assassin's Creed Shadows either, did you?
No, I really didn't.
Yeah.
Like, I just feel like they just keep making them bigger and grander, which, teenage Scott would have loved that. But, being an adult with less time, I am, less likely to play those. And unfortunately, I feel like this is the way AAA publishers and developers are going. That they look at the big money makers are going to be games as a service and these open world games, because I mean, I can't knock it. They sell, but they're not selling like they used to. You know what I mean? Like Assassin's Creed still sells really well, but it's never going to be enough for Ubisoft. It's just that's what's happening. And I feel like the shift is going to be smaller developers are going to be even AA developers or indie developers are going to be the ones that are going to be making the single player rich experiences that I'm interested in doing. And AAA is only going to be focused on things that have to do with, games as a service and passes and all this kind of good stuff.
Yeah, I agree. But the confusion for me is I feel like all Ubisoft did do was open world titles and games as a service. So it's weird to redouble their efforts down on stuff I feel like they're already doing. What were they making that wasn't a big open world game?
I mean,
or a games as a service.
Well, Prince of Persia: The Sands of Time remake. Which, I mean, that's the one that gets me the worst. Is that, to me, that was the one out of everything that they had, and I mean, there were 3 unannounced IPs, new IPs, whatever. But that's the one that I feel like was a surefire make a few bucks for them. You know what I mean?
I would contest that. Sorry, only on the basis that every Prince of Persia thing they've done for like the last 15 years has been a disappointment to them.
Yeah,
right. Like the movie bombed. The game they put out around the movie did not sell well. Lost Crown didn't sell well for them.
Lost Crown didn't sell well because they charged too much for it.
For the genre it was, for sure. You're right.
Mm-hmm.
Rogue Prince of Persia was not the hit that Evil Empire, I think it's the developer that they wanted. So I mean, honestly, I don't know if there is an appetite for Prince of Persia, especially not with, I mean, I guess those were the recent efforts were 2D efforts. Maybe people want like big 3D Prince of Persia, but I don't know if I don't know. I was never excited for their Sands of Time remake anyway, because I do not trust modern Ubisoft to not lose what made that game special.
That really surprises me. I thought you would have wanted to check that out regardless.
I mean, I would check it out regardless, but I did not anticipate that it would be good.
They should make a Prince of Persia game that's like the original Assassin's Creed.
Yeah, I mean, they had one in development that was canceled years ago.
See, they're not, their head's not in the game anymore. They don't know what's good for them.
I think they just need to give Prince of Persia to somebody else. It's just not a fit for their company anymore. No.
I mean, how much of that game has to have been quite a ways into the development?
It was allegedly like 90% done. And a bunch of stuff's been leaking, like the Prince of Persia subreddit and stuff. So it seems like developers not thrilled with the cancellation, because you can see what the prince looked like, what Farah looked like. The voice actors for Farah leaked. Like, stuff's getting out there about the remake because it looks like it was mostly done.
I don't understand. I'm not in upper management. I don't understand how things like that work. I just could not fathom just just writing it off. I mean, I get you get a tax write-off and whatever, right? But
I'm sure they did like an internal review of like, yeah, we could put it out there and make, X amount of dollars, or we could save a bunch of money by writing it off. I'm sure, just like that Batgirl movie years ago, right?
That's what I think of every time something like this comes up.
Yeah.
It drives me nuts. I don't know. It seems so weird that you'd make a decision to scrap it and just, it's already done. Just release it. You don't know how well it's going to do. There have been a bunch of games that have gone out to the market that you thought were going to be flops, and they catch fire for some reason.
And it has been 20 years, so there are plenty of people my age who would have bought. I would have bought it on day one regardless, even if it looked like trash, because it's Sands of Time, right? Like it's been a while,
right?
So I'm sure there had to be more people like that. Yeah, so
I
I'm
just
confused.
don't know.
I'm confused why a Sands of Time game 90% done gets the axe. Beyond Good and Evil 2, announced 17 years ago, still on the track though. Don't worry about that, boys and girls. That's still coming.
That was gonna be my next point. Is like I don't feel like anybody cares about that game anymore.
Yeah,
like I feel like people were like excited for that game for a minute when that one weird CG trailer dropped. I was like, oh yeah, I remember that game. We've been wanting a sequel to that for a while. That's awesome. And then we never heard hide nor hair of it.
Well, the weird CGI trailer was the second time they announced it.
That's true.
If you remember. Yeah. So like the real fans have been waiting longer, but I really feel like the wins emptied out of the sales of that game when they said it would not be addressing the cliffhanger of the first game. Because if you're a fan, why you're wasting all this time. They're like, but we're also not going to answer those questions, even though this is our only. This will probably be our only shot to do so.
Right. That's just kind of crazy to me, but
it's weird.
So that's what I feel like Ubisoft is becoming a shell of its former self. I mean, in my head, Ubisoft was one of the big, at E3, they had their own press conference, back when E3 existed. You had Nintendo, you had Sony, you had Microsoft, you had Ubisoft. You know what I mean? Like, and I don't know if it's me being old man that just doesn't want the products that they're leaning into. And we're the old guys that just want these single player rich storytelling experiences with some great game mechanics instead of doing competitive multiplayer games as a service and just bigger and grander open worlds. Is that what it boils down to? Is like we're not in the cool group of gamers anymore?
Possibly, but I don't know. Expedition 33 just swept every awards it went up for and sold millions and millions of copies. Baldur's Gate 3, right, sold tens of millions of copies.
Yeah.
So there's definitely some single player appetite. But probably you're right, not at whatever Ubisoft's budget level probably is.
It's just kind of crazy to me. But that's where I think the state of Ubisoft is. What do you guys think? Are they done? Or what?
I mean, they're splitting up the company hard. Some of it's going that way, some of it's going this way, some of it's owned by somebody else. Different IPs are going to different studios and whatever. And at this point, they should pretty much dissolve themselves and just let the individual studios have the IPs that they're working on.
Like, sounds like it's a little bit what they're doing, right? Like it seems like,
I mean, that seems where they're going anyway.
Yeah.
So why keep it under the Ubisoft name when like that?
What are they going to do? Change the name or sell off these pieces, and then everyone's going to hate them for selling off? You know what I
mean? Let them take back control of those individual companies. I'm sure they bought those companies, and there's a manager or an owner that was or is a manager.
Yeah, I don't because I don't necessarily think the games they've been putting out have been bad. Assassin's Creed Shadows was fun. Star Wars Outlaws was great fun. Even that Avatar game was good from what I played of it. So I don't think they're necessarily putting out bad games, though they are putting out the same game every time, just with a different skin. But you could say that of most AAA releases, honestly. It just kind of feels like so many of them are skins of the other.
Yeah, there's a lot of stuff going on there.
So I just, I don't know, like it's annoying to try to stick with a game like Assassin's Creed Shadows. Like they do these weird update crossovers. Like there's an Attack on Titan crossover, and that definitely that like sours me on the game as a whole. But yeah, I think that might be the old man energy.
Yeah,
it could be, but I mean, I feel like it's also like a cry for attention. Like the game's not good enough by itself. We need to have other more popular IPs to step in to help us. Yeah. Like I don't think Attack on Titan would ever have an Assassin's Creed.
I was going to say, how are you going to get more popular than Assassin's Creed and Splinter Cell and Prince of Persia and Far Cry?
I don't think is Splinter Cell popular. It was. It used to be.
Niche. I think is the word.
It was pretty popular, and I feel like
saying it was. It was a huge. It was a tentpole franchise, but it's also been 2013 was the last one.
Right.
See, I don't trust them with that remake either. They're going to turn that into something weird.
I didn't know it was a remake. I thought they were making a new game.
Oh, so yeah, it's redoing the plot of the first game.
Oh, Well, that's less exciting for me.
But I'm sure they'll probably be. You know what they should do? Like they should do a cash shop that's just you can pick your voice for Sam Fisher. It's just $10 per actor.
No, they just let you record the lines and you can be Sam Fisher.
There you go.
For the whole game. Let's do that.
But that costs $8 a month though. If you want that feature.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah.
All right, we only got one other news story to talk about. I'm tired of talking about Ubisoft. Why don't you run down the Xbox Developer Direct for us, Zach?
Sure, they showed off just 4 games. One of them was a surprise, but they showed off Game Freak's new game, the Pokemon Studio, Beasts of Reincarnation, which just comes out this summer on PS5, Xbox, and PC. They showed off Fable, which is allegedly releasing fall 2026. Notably, that will be PS5, Xbox, and PC
on day one.
Yes. Forza Horizon 6 comes out May 19th on Xbox, PC, and then later this year for PS5. That's the Japanese one. And then the surprise reveal was Kiln from Double Fine, which comes out spring, the same day for PS5, Xbox, and PC.
Beast of Reincarnation looks good.
That looked like a JRPG game when I was watching it.
Which one?
Beast of Reincarnation.
I couldn't yawn big enough. I'm sorry. Like, I feel bad.
What? The game looked good. It's got cool sword play in it.
It's got some beasts in there.
The only thing that appealed to me was that this is like, thousands of years into the future. It's like it's Japan in like the year 4000, whatever.
Yeah.
But it somehow looks like it went back in time. So, I'm
post-apocalypse, Scott.
Right.
So
thousands of years. I'm curious about that, but there's just nothing about. They made this big deal about. Oh, we've also got golems. Like, I'm sorry. I could not get excited for that game. Golem, whatever.
Golem, no, whatever. Potato. I've heard it both ways. Well, I got to say, speaking of yawns, Fable.
Really? See, this one actually did something for me.
Okay, what did it do for? I would love to know what it did for you, please, because I
part
feel
of
like
it
I'm missing it.
Really? Okay. I mean, because the cool thing about Fable was it was not just going on an adventure. It was doing. I'm surprised you're not interested because you like the slice of life stuff, and I feel like that's what a lot of this game is that slice of life stuff that was, getting married and forging your weapons and
sure,
relationships.
You could have family in one town, but then also knock out a family in the other town. That was fun,
right?
For sure. Yeah,
and I feel like we haven't had a game like that in a while. Like, I mean, Fable was kind of the tentpole for that, but we also don't have Peter Molyneux out here promising the world. You know what I mean?
Right. Very disappointing. Yeah, tell me about the acorn that's growing into a tree, bro.
Stuff like that. I don't know. I think it looks interesting. It feels like they've breathed. That's the right word.
Yeah.
Breathe life into this franchise. That I to be fair, I did not play Fable 3. I skipped that one because I heard bad things about it. But
Fable 3? What?
Dude, that game's good as hell.
That was
okay.
Oh,
really?
I mean, all 3 Fable games are really good.
I love 2. I've mentioned it before. That is the first game I got all 1,000 achievement points on.
Prove to me how evil you are by eating this chick.
By the way, did you? I heard or read that one of the things they are not bringing back is if there is a morality. I don't even know if there is a morality system, but if you go good in those games, you would get like a halo.
Right.
And if you're bad, they would have grow horns. They are not putting that in this game, which to
not.
Me feels like that's like a tentpole.
I agree. As was like you could get scarred up if you died a bunch.
Right.
Right.
And
that's not going to be in this either.
Like that was like a feature of that game. That was like a big selling point, and I feel like that would still make it cool. Their whole big thing with this was like, oh, you can create your own character. Like, we've been able to do that in like every
game ever,
RPG ever. I don't need to do that anymore. Let me do the stuff where I have permanent things based on my decisions, and it cracks me up that they still let you just kick chickens around. Doesn't bother me. Don't get me wrong. It doesn't bother me, but like. You're going to keep that in, but you're going to keep the chicken kicking thing, and it's going to potentially piss off a bunch of people. I don't know. It just.
Oh, I think if you didn't, it's weird they don't have that because to me that is the first thing I think of when I think of Fable. Because it was a reflection of your gameplay.
Right.
So it's weird to cut that. I think for me, maybe my reticence is that like it doesn't it doesn't really have like a art style. It just looks like every other fantasy game.
I mean,
like Fable to me kind of had a distinct look. The kind of blown out bloom lighting, kind of caricatured looking humans, but now it
you
just
don't
kind of
think
looks
this
like.
has this? I thought it kind of
I
did.
do not.
No,
Looks.
okay.
I don't think so, personally. Jacob, what do you weigh in on the art style?
I liked the old cartooniness of it because like it wasn't exactly real, but this one feels like it's going for more realism.
Yeah,
and that's not what the world needed. It needed to keep that level of cartooniness because it made it feel fantastical.
It helps make it funny when you kick the chicken.
When you do outlandish things, you understand that it's still kind of cartoony, especially with like in 3, the marksman or the hidden objects were singing gargoyles. And so
I remember that. It was something like that in 2 as well, wasn't there?
I think so.
Probably. But I mean, so yeah, you're going around, or the gargoyles insulted you as you walked by them. Either way,
yes,
there's these talking heads on walls, and having, I mean, yeah, sure, it can still be fantasy, but I think the cartoonish like accented what was happening in the world as you move through it.
Right.
So, I mean, the art style moving away. I mean, but that seems to be all games nowadays as well, that they're going away from. Even Borderlands is moving further and further away from its cell shadedness and trying to become more and more real. And I think that's an aspect that is if you go back and look at Borderlands 1, and it could just be the way that they cell shaded back then, but it was the lines were thicker. It was more comic booky, and they've gotten thinner and thinner lines, and they've become more of a, like, it's more of an accent rather than a talking point. Because before, it was this huge part of what made Borderlands is how it looked and how
I agree, but I also don't think they're going for realism.
I wouldn't say exactly realism, but they're losing their art style,
right?
In whatever it is that they're doing. And I think the more these games push away from, I mean, even as adults, we're still allowed to have cartoony things, especially if it's a game. Come on.
Yeah.
I don't want,
Not everything has to be hyper realistic.
Yeah. Not all of my games have to be hyper realistic as an adult for me to, like them.
Right.
Like what is it? Mouse Detective is coming out, and that's a like 1920s Mickey Mouse shoot 'em up, and everyone's going crazy about it. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, you know what? Like, this is a great because Marathon, right? Like, they had a very striking art style, and then they added more realistic art style to it, and then everyone's like, "Oh, it looks so much better now." So I guess it is just what people want.
It is.
But for me, part of what made Fable stand out was its sort of cartoon aesthetic, because you have like Elder Scrolls, which looks real, or Avowed looks like it's trying to replicate reality. Fable just felt different. So I think it's just my brain is like, this doesn't feel like Fable, but I'm sure when I get my hands on it. No reason not to. It'll be on Game Pass.
It just means we're old, man. We're less and less relevant by each passing day. This is really what it boils down to.
Don't remind me.
You're not wrong.
Forza Horizon 6. I will never play this, but man, that trailer makes me wish I played Forza games. That game looks so gorgeous. I'm not a car guy, gearhead, whatever you want to call it. Those games somehow continue to look more and more impressive each time they release one. Just I mean, it's Horizon. 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 I do like the Horizon series better than Motorsport. These are a little bit more arcadey, so maybe I will give it a shot, especially since it's on Xbox. I got Game Pass. I'll check it out, but I won't.
Do you have the Ultimate tier? Are you all loaded up?
For now, yes.
Yeah.
We'll see what happens when the prices actually do increase. But
when your renewal comes up.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I'm down the grade of premium. It is a little surprising how much you don't get.
Mm-hmm. I believe it. And then lastly, this game Kiln.
Dude, this game looks so much fun.
Okay, please tell me why, because I'm so confused by this trailer.
I feel like it is going to be Boomerang Fu.
Okay.
It's a party game. No, not necessarily, but you get a group of your friends together, and the goal is to mold your clay pot into your character, and depending on how you molded the clay depends on what attributes your character has.
Mm-hmm.
And so you like if you want a big beefy character, you make a big vase, and then your spirit takes over the vase, and then you run around as this big meaty character. Or if you want someone to run around really quick, you make a very thin vase or whatever. So, but I mean, there's a whole spinning making process of the vase before you even play. So there's kind of this like, I don't know if all your friends can watch you mold your own vase or whatnot, but you know, you got a group of friends that are just sitting there making dumb vases, and then you run around and do your nonsense as the vase. I think it's funny.
You're selling me a little bit. It's something about like it's a team multiplayer game where you're trying to put out the other team's kiln, right? You have to get water in your
your vase,
in your vase, clay pot, whatever, and then dump that water on the opposing team's kiln.
Yeah.
The way you're describing it, it makes a little bit more sense. Maybe I got distracted while I was watching the trailer because I was watching this on lunch break today, and my students came in during this trailer. So like trying to focus on that with like 23 third graders in a classroom at one time made it a little bit difficult. I'm a little bit more on board, but I kind of want to see how that works mechanically. And again, if it's on Game Pass and I can try it for free, we should set up a game night and do it. But what a weird concept. And they've got the whole like you actually sit on the pottery wheel thing, and you take your hands and you mold this vase. I wonder if they start playing that song from Ghost. Oh my love. What a weird game, which is what Double Fine does, right? They just do these odd, clever things that I guess we'll see how it does. But
yeah, it does nothing for me, but God bless them for making it. It looks weird. They're using $1 trillion company money to make something this bizarre. That's cool. Good for them.
Dude, I mean, as long as they can, right?
Yeah.
I always in situations where people are like, well, they're making this weird game, I always think of the game Push Me Pull You, where you play as a double-ended human, and you have to.
What?
Yeah, if you haven't seen this game, I believe it's called Push Me Pull You, and you play as this person. They're connected at the hips, they've got no legs, and they crawl around. And so one player's playing one side, the other player's playing the other side, and you have to like scoop a ball and then into like a net, or do different things like tug of war and different things. It's that game is weird.
Yeah, it sounds
pretty
like
weird.
Man.
Yeah, I mean, Double Fine's been doing weird games for a long time.
That's true. Was that them that did the Maw?
No, that was Twisted Pixel.
Twisted Pixel. I get the
the Explosion Man people, although they're shut down now too.
Yeah, unfortunately.
Yeah.
All right, well, that's all we had for news this week. Let's go ahead and move on, and we will talk about the new games that we've been playing. Brief aside here, we're bringing Joel in here. Joel, how you doing? Can you hear me?
I'm doing all right. I can hear you.
All right. Just as a heads up, we are live. This part we will edit out when we actually post the episode. Sorry, we didn't know if you were coming or not. Our live show.
Sorry about that. I couldn't look throughout my email to find the link. I couldn't find it anywhere for us. So I had to go back to my team and just see if they had it.
Okay.
So.
Well, we got two things we could do. We're going to do one more. We're going to do this section talking about the new games we've been playing and talk about new releases. We can bring you in and join that part of the episode now, or we can just bring you in when we do the topic and treat it like an interview. Do you have a preference?
I don't.
Okay. Would you like to join in now then? We'll just kick things off and say, hey, we got a special guest and introduce you here.
I'll leave that up to you.
Okay. Well, if you're cool with it, let's go ahead and let us do what we've been playing section, and then I'll bring you in and treat you like we had a call in for the interview. Is that all right?
That's fair.
All right. If you mind just sitting tight for just a little bit, we've only got probably 2 games to talk about here, and then in the third segment after the musical break, we'll bring you in. Sound good?
Okay.
All right. Here we go. All right, Zach, I got plenty to play, but what is new on the horizon that people can check out this week in new releases?
Sure. Starting off the week, January 30th, we have Code Vein 2, the follow-up to the anime Vampire Souls-like, coming out on PS5, Xbox Series consoles, and PC. You could, speaking of vampires, you can be a vampire lord in Vampires Bloodlord Rising, releasing on PC. You get some mech strategy action coming to Front Mission 3, a remake as it hops off of its Switch exclusivity onto PS5, PS4, Xbox Series consoles, Xbox One, and PC. The next day, January 31st, we have Ascendant releasing on PC. And then on February 1st, we have Star Sand Island, a little cozy game coming to PS5, Xbox Series consoles, Switch 2, Switch, and PC. Then on February 3rd, we have World War II fighter pilot VR game Aces of Thunder coming to PS5 and PC. And Norse Oath of Blood. You know what? Actually, this game just got a delay announcement today. This is coming out February 17th now.
Oh, okay.
So that's not on there. So February 5th, we have Dragon Quest 7 Reimagined coming to PS5, Xbox Series console, Switch 2, Switch, and PC. Menace, a real-time strategy game coming to PC. And then Civilization 7 comes to iOS, which I added here because the idea of playing Civilization on a phone sounds hilarious.
Horrendous.
Yes, hilarious and horrendous. But you know people are going to do it.
Especially modern-day Civilization games. Like, those are, like, Civ Rev, I could see.
Yeah, that would be great on phone.
You know, but I haven't played a Civ game in a while, but even like Civilization 1 or 2 or 3 where there were so many more moving parts. I just feel like iOS and maybe on an iPad, right? I could see that maybe, but I always forget that iPads are a thing because I owned one once, you know. But
they're just so like you have to live a specific kind of life for an iPad to matter. I feel like,
right?
And I don't live that life.
I don't either. I would like to, but I don't.
Well, what game's standing out to you, Scott, here on this list?
Dragon Quest 7 Reimagined. I've never played the Dragon Quest games, and I have heard really good things about this one, especially with the way that they've made this a little bit more accessible. I don't know if I would actually do it because you know me, I've got to start from the beginning of a serise. I can't start at 7, even though they're not related.
Do I have to play the other 6 to?
There's no way. There's no way you started. Have you played every numerical Final Fantasy before you played the next?
He's working on it,
but I'm working on it.
I know you are now. I'm just saying.
That was the old Scott. This is the new Scott.
The new Scott needs Dragon Quest 1 through 6.
Oh yeah, that was the newer Scott. This is the old Scott.
I mean, dude, how could you say no to Final Fantasy 7 back in the 90s? There's just no way I was gonna. 17-year-old Scott was gonna be like, you know what?
I'm gonna
play through.
I better import 6. Final Fantasy 2 and 3.
Right, yeah.
And do this right.
So yeah, Dragon Quest 7 reimagined. Excuse me for me.
What about you, Jacob?
Too many. Vampires Bloodlord Rising looks good. I'm gonna check that one out. I don't know. The building looks a little iffy, but the vampire abilities look cool. From Mission 3 Remake, duh. One of the games that I'm always we host our conventions, we go to conventions, we do all that stuff. There's one game that I'm always looking for, and that's Front Mission 4, and I can never find it. No one ever has it, but this is a remake, and so I'll probably get it because I love the Front Mission series. Although the newer Front Mission, I don't know what they did with it. They made it like third person, which was weird. But anyway,
and then Menace Evolved on PS3.
Yes,
I played that. That's the only one I've played.
Yeah, they
did not give me a good impression.
No, it's not. But yeah, the turn-based gives it a lot more controllability or some nonsense that would like mechs that can be snipers or radar services for missiles, or I don't know. There's a lot of strategy that can go into the turn-based version of it. I don't know, but then Menace I think looks really good. That's kind of like a turn-based group warrior. I don't know.
It's a big week for Jake.
Shut up.
Well,
every week's a big week.
If you spend your life right, every week's a big week.
Right.
I think Menace looks cool. Kind of like the hard sci-fi look to it. I don't know. It's the most interesting game here. I wish Norse was still here, but as it is, yeah. Shout out to Menace. I think it's got a neat look to it.
Norse looks good. We can talk about it in a couple of weeks.
Yeah, we'll talk about it around my birthday on February 17th.
There you go.
Perfect.
But Scott, you've been playing Dwarves, Glory, Death, and Loot.
Yes, I have.
What the hell's going on here?
Oh my goodness. So I have never even heard of this game, and I get a text message from Kevin our producer, and he says, dude, I just gifted you a game on Steam. You have to play it. This game is a serious problem for me in my marriage. And I was like, what? You're really selling me on this.
As
but
good a pitch as any.
I'm intrigued. So yes, the game is Dwarves, Glory, Death, and Loot. And I got to tell you, I started playing this game last night during the NFC Football Championship game. I had this, had that in the background. I was trying to play this on my Steam Deck. And I started this game and I went, what in the world is Kevin talking about? I do not understand what is going on with this game. And then it clicked. You remember how
Dwarves.
Sorry. The trailer is outstanding, by the way. Just dwarves. It's such a great trailer. But you remember, like, this isn't that kind of a game. But you remember when we first played Vampire Survivors, and you start that game, and you're like, "What in the world is everybody talking about?"
Right. Definitely.
This is this most simplistic thing. Why is this game amazing? I had that feeling when I started Dwarves, Glory, Death, and Loot on PC. And then I had that moment of clarity or realization of what this game is. So let me explain. What is this game? This is going to be the weirdest comparison that you're ever going to hear. But do you guys remember? I know you guys are way younger than me, so you might not remember this. But back in like the 70s and early 80s, there were these board games for American football where you would have these little pieces of football characters, and you would do 11 guys on one side and 11 guys on the other, and you would turn the board on, and the table would vibrate, and that would be the play. Oh my
God.
Wherever the pieces went is like what the play would do, and then when one of the players, when the player carrying the ball would fall over, that was a tackle. Do you guys remember that at all, or am I just way too old?
Scott, you are way too old.
Although I'm learning you're a football fanatic your whole life, so that's good.
I didn't have one of these things. This was just a thing I knew about when I was a kid. Like everybody knew about it. It was horrible. Like it wasn't like you had no control over it. You just set up the pieces, let it go, and then just watch.
Back in my day, we vibrated the tables on the play.
You shut up.
Dude, that kind of reminds me like this game we used to play where it had like it was a cup and then there was a string, but then there was a ball at the end of it, and you would have to like swing it up. I don't know if you.
Oh yeah, ball in the cup.
Hear me out though. Hear me out. The comparison I'm making here is that in that game, you set up the pieces and then you press a button and watch the action happen.
Okay.
That's what Dwarves, Glory, Death, and Loot is. You actually have no control over the actual battles in this game. The gameplay comes in you setting up your armies of dwarves that are fighting orcs. All you're doing is it's a roguelike. All you are doing is you are arming your set of dwarves with weapons, armor, permanent buffs and everything. So imagine that football game I was telling you about, but imagine that with stats. Each individual player on the football team has stats that determine how fast they're going to run, how hard they're going to hit the opponent. That's what this game is doing. So let me explain.
Okay.
Let me start by explaining the battle. So when you actually go into a battle, it is just a 2D, like side-scrolling type game. Your characters move from left to right, and the orcs or enemies are coming from right to left. And they just they smash in the middle of each other and they attack each other. And based on their stats, determines how much damage they do to one another, whether or not they block, what kind of attack they do. And you just watch the battle ensue. Now, at the beginning of the game, you have one dwarf, and you were fighting against one orc. And you watch this one dude go up against each other. They come and they hit each other, and they bounce off each other, and then they keep coming back. But they're all doing different tiny things. Like that character's stat for speed determines how fast he runs forward. His strength determines how hard he hits. His dexterity determines how often he is able to dodge and whatnot. And you have that happen. You win the battle, you potentially gain some loot, you gain some gold, you come back to the part where you're actually in control, and you are spending that money on new weapons, you are spending that money on purchasing additional dwarves. More importantly, you are upgrading your shop, because when you go to purchase these weapons, it does it in true roguelike form where you've got 3 different options for you. It'll be either a weapon or some kind of armor. And I'm talking like here's your armor, or excuse me, here's your weapon. It might be a shield. It might be a helmet. It might be a shoulder piece. It might, you know what I mean? There's like all these different things, and you arm them on each of these characters, and it changes its stats Borderlands style. You see a bunch of greens and you see a bunch of reds. So you have to make a decision about what you're going to put on there. You do all this, and then you send them off to battle again. You choose one of 3 battles to do. Some are harder than others, but the harder they are, the more rewards they get. Where the game gets really interesting and where it genuinely clicked for me is when you learn that you have the ability to upgrade your shop. So when you start out, you just have like just common equipment available to you. But when you spend the money to upgrade your shop, you see all these percentages. You know how loot games have like different rarities based on their colors, whatever. So that you see all 5 or 6 of these colors and a percentage for each of them. When you start the game, it's 100% just white. When you upgrade it, now you've got like, 13% could be blue, and then 2 or 3% can be green. And then the more you upgrade, those percentages go up, and then more things become available in the shop. When you start equipping, and that's when you start to realize how in-depth this game goes. Because I learned today that there are armor sets. You don't have to have an armor set on an individual dwarf. I can have a set of 3 pieces of armor, and I can put them on different dwarves. And if they are on there, all 3 of those are going to have this mondo damage thing attached, associated with them. So you start adding dwarves, you start adding new weapons. I mean, there are swords that look like the Buster Sword from Final Fantasy VII. There are mage staffs that do healing. There are bows that shoot arrows. There are hammers. So I'm to the point where I have like 8 or 9 dwarves in my party, and they're going up against 8 or 9 orcs. And again, I'm not doing anything. The only thing I can do in battle is move the camera, and I can wave a white flag to potentially save my characters, which I haven't done yet, but you can do that. And you just watch this battle unfold. And when there's like 8 on each side, just ranning into each other, and you see all these numbers popping off, and you see just all this insane stuff happening. And then, eventually you win the battle, and you see dead orcs everywhere. You collect loot, you go back, spend your money, and do the whole thing over again. Dude, it is so much fun and so addicting. I cannot even explain to you how my attitude of this game changed after about a half an hour of like, what is Kevin talking about? And now I could not stop thinking about it all day at school today.
I think it sounds super cool. How much is it?
It's like $15, but it's on sale right now for like 35% off, so you can get it for like $10.
Like a launch discount? Okay.
Yes. And it's seriously worth checking out. Apparently this has been on iOS for a while, and it just got a PC release. Yeah. But I highly recommend checking this out.
Sounds super fun. I really want to play it. Genuinely. Okay. Yeah. Well, yeah.
I'm surprised because I feel like
I was scratching together $10 somehow, but
yeah. I was worried about selling you on it because I know you hate games with like the plus,
Well, I think the auto battling. Well, it sounds like you're like a mastermind, and you get to unleash your plan, and then you watch your opponent get destroyed. That sounds super fun.
It's pretty good.
And it sounds like it's got a good, rhythm or gameplay loop to it.
It does.
And I would imagine it's Steam Deck verified as well.
It's actually optimized for Steam Deck, which is really cool. They've done something so intuitive with this game that I am shocked I've not seen it worked this way in other games. It's the gameplay is all menu based, right? It's all that's all you're doing is going through menus and arming guys and whatnot. But there are different menus to go through. So instead of, like hitting a button and then selecting which menu you want, the menu is attached to a wheel on the right stick. So you point up to, like, if you want to go choose your battle, it's almost always up until you start adding new things, and then the wheel gets bigger. But, or if you want to go to your store, that's down and to the left a little bit. If you want to equip your guys, it's down and to the right. But you don't have to hit a second button. You point up, release it, and boom, you're there.
Oh, very nice.
So it just feels so slick. And then moving through the menus is very simple. And then the more you play it, the more you start realizing how in-depth this game gets. I mean, I just unlocked a forge, so I'm actually able to take some of my older weapons that are no longer good and put them in a forge and see what comes out. I've got a storage area now where I can store some really good weapons that I don't know if I can use them in later runs or not. I haven't discovered that, but the wheel keeps getting more and more things that I can go do to set up the next battle in the and it's great.
Right, it sounds
yeah.
You sold me. I'm sold.
Awesome. This is you're not the only one. I was talking, you're going to hear me interview David Newman in just a minute on a game that he's been playing for us. And after we stopped recording, I gave him the same pitch I did. And before we finished the conversation, he had bought the game.
Like, yeah, I would if I could, for sure.
This is outstanding.
Especially the 35% off, and you and Kevin are playing it. Yeah, it'd be fun to get in on that.
So again, that is Dwarves, Glory, Death, and Loot. Again, I'm playing it on Steam, but I believe it's also available on iOS for like $5. So that you could go that route. I don't know how it plays on there. I just know that playing on the Steam Deck is choice. So there you have it.
So, speaking of other games, Zach, you've been playing Pig Face,
which is definitely another game.
Yes,
spot on observation, Jacob.
My bad. I was buying Dwarves.
Oh, dude, you should. Everyone should, apparently. It's the Gaming Outsiders Game of the Year already. Yes, I have been playing Pig Face. In it, you play a woman named Exit. She was like an elite assassin who gets kidnapped, and seemingly you're like getting they plant a bomb in your head. That's right. That's the setup. They plant a bomb in your skull. So now you have to go off on kill missions for this guy. But it feels very manhunty in its presentation. If you played that on PS2,
it looks a little manhunty.
Yeah, I assume that's intentional. It's got a PS2 aesthetic, first-person game, and you're dropped in these levels like a farmhouse or a shopping mall, and it's sort of free form on how you approach the enemies. But you all these have these objectives like recover the drug samples, or you get bonus money if you hunt down and kill every single guy on the compound, etc. And it's just kind of like freeform little open maps. And before the mission, you can buy your different loadouts if you want to, or you can, just try to operate with what you find off of enemies and things like that. But where the fun really is just this like grimy, kind of gross presentation of everything, much like Manhunt. Like the whole world just feels grimy, and like when you shoot guys, they like explode a little bit. It's just like everything just feels icky in a super compelling way. And you just have a lot of different toys you can murder people with. It's kind of just like a murder sandbox.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's just even in the description of Steam, it calls it like overly gory or something like that.
Yes.
It's like how often do you see it just like explained in that way?
Yeah,
right. It's very open about what it is.
Because you're running around with different melee weapons and hacking at people and shooting them and whatever, and heads explode.
You have so many options. Like those melee weapons, you can also just like chuck at enemies, right? So if you're like, you could hack a dude apart with an axe and like watch his head roll off, and then chuck it at his friend in the neck or something like that, and it's just super gory and a little bit messed up. Maybe that it brings me so much joy to do this.
Yeah, I was gonna say,
maybe it's just what I need right now in my life.
It looks like there's a wide range of weapons too.
Yeah, a lot of options. You can set up like trip mines and land mines and stuff. Just like a lot of toys to play with. And the levels are intricate in an interesting way. A lot of approaches.
You just have. I mean, what's your main objective on the map?
It's different for every map.
Okay.
Usually about finding something, or like, find the hidden files, recover a drug sample. You don't necessarily need to kill all the guys, so you could do a stealth approach if you wanted to. I've been having a lot of fun just murdering everybody.
I was gonna say it looks like just to kill them all.
Yeah, well, and then like you don't have like necessarily like a guy who's like basically getting off the whole time like Brian Cox in Manhunt.
Oh,
but they are happy with your performance. Yeah, it's an early access, so there's only like a few maps right now.
Weird way to say that.
What?
They're very happy with your performance.
Yeah, they are. Just saying, not to a Brian Coxian way. If you ever played that game, Brian Cox is very satisfied with your performance.
That reminds me, I need to play click holding.
Yes, there you go. They should have Brian Cox for that.
What?
But it is only $10. It's an early access. They just added controller support, which is why I can actually play it on Steam Deck. But it is a great deal of fun. It is just like, as long as you're okay feeling a little dirty, and sometimes I like to feel a little dirty.
The game looks dirty.
I learned that about you yesterday after we got done recording an interview.
Oh, I think it
was actually before the interview.
Was it before the interview?
Okay.
Oh my goodness.
But a little behind the scenes content. But right. I highly recommend Fake Face if you kind of like sandbox games. Not to a Hitman degree, of course, because this is an indie title that's $10. But it is a great deal of fun. Highly recommend.
All right, thanks for checking that one out. Before we move on, we got a couple other reviews. I talked to Mark Szymanski and David Newman. They played a couple games for us. We're going to play those reviews for you guys right now. All right, thanks. As always, great to chat with you guys. Do appreciate it. Before we move on to our final segment of the show, I want to remind you of places that you can follow the Gaming Outsider. If you'd like to join the community, we have a Facebook group at facebook.com/groups/the GoCast. We've also got our Discord server. As I mentioned at the top of the show, there's a link in the show notes. Also, if you get a chance, do us a favor, drop us a review on Apple Podcasts. It helps us get the word out about what we are doing over here, and we do appreciate it. And lastly, our website, thegamingoutsider.com. If you don't have any of the podcast apps, you can listen to the show right there on the website. And we've also got all of our written content, which includes reviews and news updates. Please check it out. We put a lot of work into doing that for you. The website, again, is thegamingoutsider.com. And with that, we're going to go ahead and jump now into our From the Outside In topic. All right, we've got a very special treat for you guys. Every once in a while, we are lucky enough to talk to a developer, and this is one of those weeks. It gives me great pleasure to welcome to the show an indie developer that is, I apologize here. I got to...
You're okay.
He is from Ashbourne Interactive and developer of a game called A Demon Hunter's Guide to Passing Finals. Gives me great pleasure to welcome to the show Mr. Joel Heath. Joel, how are you doing, sir?
I am doing fantastic. Thank you for having me.
Oh, we are very excited to talk to you. This game that you have, it's not done, right? You're in the process?
No, it's early demo phase at this stage.
Early demo phase. The concept is great. There's lots of RPGs out there that are based around school, but this one's got demon hunters involved in the night. Now, you probably heard me mention earlier, I teach third grade. So, my students are going to ask me, I have to assume this has nothing to do with K-pop demon hunters.
I hadn't heard about K-pop demon hunters before I started developing the game.
Yeah.
I mean, maybe there was some foresight there but no.
Well, hopefully the SEO will help you.
Oh, hopefully.
once this game comes out. So can you tell us about the game? Because, I've read the elevator pitch and all that, but our listeners have not yet.
Let me see. The game actually takes place in, I haven't even named the world or the country or whatnot, but as it starts out, we got the main character in the middle of a dream where he's taking on the demon lord in an attempt to free the valley or the land from his corruption. Wakes up, he goes off, another word. He applies to get into the school, takes the entrance exam, and we find out that he has this very rare ability. It's called an open magic affinity, so he can learn and use any magic there is.
Uh-huh.
It's extremely rare, but one person in 100 years will have it.
Gotcha.
The game I've got so far, they're moving into their second stage of their education, which is basically go out of the school and do these. It's basically just a quest.
Sure.
It's a little field exam.
Oh, yeah.
That reminds me of Final Fantasy VIII. Wasn't that like at the beginning of the game when you're like the first battles in that game, or when you were like taking your final exam with Quistis? Remember that, Zach?
Sure.
No.
No.
I'm sorry. My game taste is a little retro.
Oh, hey, that's all right.
4 and 6.
Okay.
Hey, it's funny you say that. I just finished the first 3 Final Fantasy games on the Pixel Remaster, and I'm about to start Final Fantasy 4. So apparently, I've got good things coming, huh?
That's one of my favorites.
Awesome. So what about the gameplay? I know this is JRPG, so I assume turn-based combat.
Yeah, turn-based combat. Sorry, I had this whole spiel I wanted to share of just.
Oh yeah, spiel us away.
Yeah. Like, the last few weeks, I've really put into I've really put a lot of work into developing a shiny mechanic, like from Pokemon, or crafting recipes.
Okay.
It sounds really interesting. I like the premise, and I mean, if I remember correctly from the video or the screenshots that I saw, is it like first person perspective, or you have a party on the side that's attacking? I can't remember how would you describe the look of it?
Think original Final Fantasy.
Original Final Fantasy. Okay, so you have the party on the side. Gotcha.
Well, I haven't got that mechanic done yet. That I got to handle I want to handle the monsters first, and since my artistic skills leave much to be desired, I have to rely on AI, which is something I use not really as a cheat, but more of like a paraplegic would use a wheelchair.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Gotcha. Is this your first game?
First commercial game release that I've got, but there's been a bunch of others that I've developed, and so it's just weird. It's the first one I've really put this much effort into.
Mm-hmm. That's awesome.
I mean, my personal philosophy is never accept the easy answer.
Yeah,
because then you get sloppy work and everybody can see it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Well, one of the reasons we wanted to have you on the show here is it's kind of our topic of the week is about, developing a game without a publisher. Now, as you can probably guess, we've never made a game. We've never developed a game. We've never, I don't know how to code. Jake had aspirations of developing, and he's got a little bit of experience there.
a little bit.
But clearly, we've never put anything together. We've never had to sell a product. So we're kind of unfamiliar with the whole process, and we wanted to kind of pick your brain and know what it's like to try to sell a game when you don't have the backing of a publisher. So we got some questions we wanted to ask you about that. Are you cool with that?
Go for it.
All right. So there's a lot of debate about what constitutes being labeled as an indie developer. For example, I don't know if you remember the game Dave the Diver from a couple years ago. We all kind of assumed that was an independent game, but it turns out they got some outside help. So there was this whole debate about whether or not it should have been considered indie. So in your mind, what does it mean for a developer to truly be designated as an indie developer?
Personally, for me, the term indie developer is just somebody who doesn't have support.
Okay.
Somebody who's got their concepts, who's got their software to develop it and to author it, and they're hanging on for dear life.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now, when you say help, do you mean financial? Do you mean actually help with the work? Again, you got to remember, we know nothing about development.
Any or all.
Okay.
It's like right here. To quote Jack Sparrow, I'm all by me onesie, savvy.
Gotcha.
Yep.
That's gotta be that's gotta be stressful, right? I mean, maybe not because you don't have the comparison. You've not developed, with a publisher,
mm-hmm.
So you don't have any comparison. But that's a scary proposition. I mean, are all your eggs in one basket here, or is this something you're doing on the side? Are you working full time doing something else? What's that like? Did we lose you, Joel?
No, I was still here,
Oh, okay.
So, I flew into over 6 million forms of sarcasm, including smart aleck.
Hey, that works.
So, What's your backing like? Are you still got a full-time job? Is this your only thing, or what's going on?
I'm currently retired on disability.
Okay.
Oh, gotcha.
Yeah. The disability has actually been such that I can't find a job. Not because others are like, oh, you're disabled, I don't want to hire you. But, I occasionally get what we call dissociative fugue states, where your consciousness just checks out and your subconscious says, hey, where'd you going? Now I got to run this thing myself.
Gotcha.
So, and apparently I can function, sort of. But it's really disturbing.
Yeah.
So that's been the main reason why I haven't been doing my song and dancing for my supper.
I gotcha. Right. Well, hey, you get to do something that you enjoy. Like you said, you're a lover of retro games, and you get to kind of get to add to that, as it were. So that's really interesting.
Have you thought about maybe using a Kickstarter or like a GoFundMe page to?
I've actually got a GoFundMe pre-launch act that's just gathering signatures right now.
Okay.
I've got
one.
Do
you have a page for that? Is it under?
Actually, yeah, it's on my website, which I run through Wix.
Mm-hmm.
I can give you that link. It's like,
well, yeah.
ashborninteractive.wixsite.com/ash-born-interactive /DHG GoFundMe pre-launch.
There you go.
It's like spaghetti. It's kind of a mess.
All right. Well, we'll see if we can't get that link in the show notes for you so people can check that out. But
Right.
Moving on with this deal about publishers, I'm curious about what drove your decision to make a game without a publisher. Was this out of necessity, or was it more about creative control for you?
Actually, more necessity. I mean, for the last 10 years, I've been retired on disability, and the now $1,130 I get every month. Let's just say that I'm glad before my mother passed, she paid the house off.
Gotcha. That makes things a lot easier.
Mm-hmm.
I understand. So, just a little bit that we do know about publishers, we know that they've got a lot of expectations and sales expectations. You don't have that. So, once this game releases, how do you know if a game is successful? Because, if you got a publisher breathing down your neck saying you need to sell this many copies, but you are your own publisher, as it were. So what makes a game successful for you in your mind?
For me, if I have somebody stop me on the street and say, you did Demon Hunter's Guide, that is such an amazing game, I love it, and they're just asking me questions about it, that's a success to me.
Hey, that's awesome.
Right.
What about marketing? What's your plan for marketing like this? Because you're not gonna have a publisher footing the bill and getting that game out in front of other people. What's your plan there?
I don't know. This is one area where I'm kind of I kind of don't have a clue what I'm doing, like art. The budget I'm with GoFundMe, I'm going to be taking into consideration marketing and social media, just to make sure I can cover all my bases.
Gotcha.
Yeah. I will tell you that we have been doing our convention R2V2 in our area for about 5 or 6 years, and we had no clue how any kind of marketing worked. We were just kind of a bunch of chickens running around with our heads cut off, throwing flyers and signs and whatever. Anybody who would put a hand out, we would just give them to it. So we completely understand what it means to not know what you're doing.
I mean, I'm ready to stand on a street corner with a cart with a poster board sign. Please play my demo.
Oh, yeah. we've done that, man. Our first year doing our convention, we were walking up and down the main drag in our town, walking into every business, asking if we could put up flyers and like trying to paint the town everywhere we can. And so yeah, it's all about getting the word out there. Well, that's awesome. Do you have any idea of potential release date for this game?
Honestly, that depends on the GoFundMe. I mean, if I'm going to be doing it all by myself, it's going to take a few more years. But if I get the GoFundMe, then I could probably have it done by the end of the year.
Okay.
It does also depend, because there's one feature I really want to add. If you're familiar with Chrono Trigger and they had the animated cutscenes,
yeah,
I want to do something similar, but kind of take it a step beyond that and actually have those cutscenes voiced.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
In English and in Japanese, because of the anime roots that really helped inspire the game. So it's kind of like Harry Potter meets Pokemon meets Yu Yu Hakusho.
Okay.
Ooh.
Because the original game didn't have the cutscenes, right? It was until they got the PlayStation version of the game is when those animated cutscenes came in, right?
Truth be told, I can barely remember half what I did yesterday. So,
all right.
And I'm too young to have a mind this old.
Gotcha.
Fair enough.
Well, Joel, thanks so much for coming. We're gonna wrap things up here. So thanks so much, everybody, for checking out the show. Next week we are going to be talking. We got another special guest next week. We got a guy by the name of Chris Datoli who's going to be coming. He is a voice actor. He's going to talk to us about the art of voice acting. I'm looking forward to chatting with him. But that is going to do it for this week's The Gaming Outsider. Joel, thank you so much for being our guest. We do appreciate it.
Thank you for having me.
And we'll grab your GoFundMe and we'll put it around our social media platforms and stuff.
There are a few other links that I have available. Plus, I don't know if this is relevant, but I'm actually developing a nonprofit to help people like me with disabilities that make getting a job next to impossible. I've just got a name for it right now, and I'm developing it on the side because I got to focus on the game most. But it's called the Dream Pathway Project, and I'm going to run it for the first year or so, and I'm going to decline any and all salary.
Oh wow! Okay.
I will run it on a volunteer salary.
Gotcha. And so, what is your? You mentioned your website. What is the main website URL?
We can get it after the show, and then we'll put it.
Okay.
Sounds good.
Yeah.
All right. Well, Joel, it was awesome talking with you. Thanks so much. And thanks to everybody out there for listening. The episode of The Gaming Outsider was produced by Kevin Honigford. All the music you hear is written and performed by Grant Henry of Stemage and Metroid Metal. His website, as always, is stemagemusic.com. Please be sure to email us if you have any questions or concerns. Our address is feedback@thegamingoutsider.com. As a reminder, you can join us live every Monday at 7:30 p.m. Central on YouTube, Twitch, and Facebook. Let's see. I do have this is a spot where we do some recommendations. I started the 4th book of the Dungeon Crawler Carl series. I keep talking about it.
You're a believer of Dungeon Crawler Carl.
Well, here's the thing. I finished book 4, and book 3, if you remember, was really slow for me. Book 4 got a little bit better, but I was like, man, I don't know if I'm going to finish the series. And then at the end of book 4, they ended with something. There was like an epilogue, and something really crazy happened, and they got me. And I'm like, all right, I'll get this away. And then David Newman, who's also reading the series, messaged me and said that book 5 is so much better. So I've actually started book 5. I'm only about a couple hours in, but so far it's keeping my attention much better than the others. So yeah, I'm still going through that. And apparently, I don't know if you saw this on Discord, Zach, but Free Comic Book Day is coming up soon, and they are giving away a comic book based on Dungeon Crawler Carl. So that's going to be the comic book. But you guys got anything you want to share before we get out of here?
Yeah. So speaking of books, I finished reading Cliff Bleszinski's memoir, Control Freak.
Oh yeah, I listened to that too.
Yeah, didn't listen. Read it with the book in my hand. Yeah. But no, I thought it was a really good book. Yeah, I thought it was I got a little worried because it has kind of like the prologue, I guess, is like him doing the Gears demo, talking, and he really talks kind of builds himself up in a way where I was like, oh no, it's gonna be one of those.
Yeah.
But then no, he kind of beats himself up for the next 300 pages. So respect to that. And he's very honest, which I absolutely respect. And even in ways where, he's like, at the time I thought I was the coolest guy in the room. In hindsight, I could see everybody was annoyed by me, kind of thing. So it just really shows his growth and, journey through the industry. I wish we had gotten a little bit more about Bosky studios.
Mm-hmm.
But I know that is the sorest spot for him to talk about.
He's so tired of people asking him too.
So I could see why that was a little rushed. But no, I thought it was a really good book. I was kind of surprised by how much I enjoyed the memoir.
Awesome. Well, that's it, everybody. Thanks so much for checking it out. Until next week, I'm Scott Clark with Zach Parkerson and Jack Gunderson. Jacob Gunderson. I called you Jack Gunderson. I don't know where that came from.
Jacob Gunderson.
I quit.
As he should.
That's the end of it.
Jacob Gunderson. And we are the Gaming Outsider. Remember, there's no such thing as a bad game, just games that aren't for you.